Hi there, my name's Chris Cannon with MiningNews.net and Aspermont, and with me I have Mark Bojanjac with PolarX. Mark, thanks for joining us. You released a scoping study about 6 weeks ago now on the Alaska project. I was hoping you could just give us a bit of background on some of the key metrics there so we can understand the value proposition we're looking at.
Sure. Quite an advanced project now, 2 deposits, both copper and gold, which we think is absolutely the best place to be in the immediate future. We ran very much ruling market prices at the time, so $8,500 a tonne copper and $1,900 an ounce gold. Well, they're comfortably above that now, but even at those metrics, the project at this point shows something like 2.3 billion Australian dollars in gross revenue, of which 1.3 falls to bottom line.
Okay.
So a healthy payback in 18 months on $226 million expenditure to build, and something like 74% internal rate of return. So it's, it's resoundingly profitable. It's a really good place for a junior to be right now, with upside everywhere.
Okay. And I understand that Northern Star is a neighbour. They've taken an interest in PolarX, to say the least, with an existing around 10% equity interest, and they're underwriting a rights issue as well that will allow you to do a bit of further exploration. Can you help me understand that relationship and what you're specifically looking to do in terms of your regional play and your exploration with that involvement?
Sure. They've been very helpful. There's no question about that. They really have been good friends in every corporate sense, actually. They are northeast of us in Alaska with Pogo. That's now 5 million ounces at something like 12 grams per tonne underground gold mine there. So they've done a lot with that quite quickly, in actual fact. We are copper gold as opposed to pure gold in their case. ASX has not been very happy of recent times for most sectors, and I think that's largely interest rate driven. And that really has, for us, stimulated thinking a little outside the norm. So instead of constantly going to capital raisings on ASX, etc., we've started to think a little forward and go, okay, if we're going to build this, and it screams to be built in the immediate future, and grow it before we do build it, we're going to need a lot of money fairly quickly. And the realities are, I think at the moment, you're better off partnering up with somebody sooner rather than later and actually getting on with the job, because we're seeing a tighter and tighter copper market, I think, which is going to lead to higher and higher copper prices in particular. In the case of Northern Star, they're already a 10% shareholder. They've been there for a little over a year at the moment. They're keen to get on with things in Alaska and Australia. They're the chosen fields, as they are for us. They've just recently underwritten a $5 million rights issue for us. And they've essentially said, look, anything your shareholders don't do, we'll do.
Okay.
So they're picking up the difference. And of course, that's given our own holders in the market a lot more confidence in going forward. So I think our take up from our own shareholders is going to be resoundingly good, in fact, as a result of that. So, we're certainly looking to get on with this in a very corporate manner into the future, rather than going traditional ASX capital routes, because they're just not there at the moment.
Okay, and while I have you, Mark, can I ask you about your expectations and your experience at the conference so far? First year we've done Mining News Select in Sydney. How have you found it?
It's good to catch up with people. It's embarrassing to say some of those live in Perth with me and you never see them. So I've actually caught up with quite a few people that I haven't seen for a year or more at this conference. But, I think there's a general feeling here of people trying to get on with business best they can in a tough market. You could never throw the towel in. In our case, we've found a different way of doing it, and I think you'll probably see more and more of that into the future. So today, good conference. It's always good to go and see some macro presentations too, on the theme for copper, gold, silver, etc. So that's been valuable.
Mark, thanks for your time.
Thank you.